So I like the way that you love it. I like the way that you say my name, but I'm not.
Hey guys, it's Willow and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm kind of gonna be trying to fill in my sketchbook a little bit in like an interesting way, because I watched this video that I'll like put somewhere on the screen, and it was like some ideas to kind of spice up your sketchbook because mine's been looking a little bit boring lately. So I want to try and mix up a little bit and then take you along with me. So one of the things on this video was to like use like 3 different materials and like use that to create a spread. So I've got some materials here with me. First of all, I have these biros. So yeah, that's what I have. And then I also have Winsor Newton ink. And I've never used like any ink like this before, so it's gonna be my first time. It's purple, and I actually got this like literally a year ago, but I just never got around to using it. So yeah, I think I'm gonna use that. That's why I have a brush with me. And then lastly, I've got these crayons just to see what I can do with them. They're kind of hard to use because they don't have like a sharp point, they're like thick. But maybe for like doing backgrounds and stuff, they'll be good. And then also, I have this magazine here. Maybe I can do some collaging. And the last thing I have are these foam sheets, and I think they're really cool. I like the variety of patterns, and hopefully I can add some texture using them. So that's probably enough me like real-time talking, and I'll probably add a voiceover for the next bit. Yeah, I think I will. So this is voiceover me, and this is the reference I'm using for this drawing. As you can see, I'm going straight in with pen, no pencil sketch. So I was just hoping that I wasn't gonna mess up. For me, when I was like first learning how to draw faces, I definitely did lots of guidelines and like mark out where the eyes would be and the nose would be. But now I kind of just wing it and I just like go for it, which is like, it works sometimes, like 50% of the time it'll go well, but then sometimes it just goes horribly wrong. But I think this time it went okay. As you can tell, if you've been on my channel before, this isn't like my usual place of filming. Like I usually have a white background. That's because I wasn't on my desk while I was doing this, I was just sitting on the floor. So yeah, it was probably not very good for my posture, but my desk was really messy and I couldn't be bothered to clean it, so I just put it there. I don't know, it feels very, the lighting feels kind of harsh, like it's very bright. But yeah, I can't really put my sketchbook in dark mode, so I've almost finished my sketchbook. I literally only have like 10 pages left maybe, so look out for a sketchbook tour. I'm very excited because hopefully, I mean, not just that, like, this isn't the only reason I want to share my sketchbook obviously, but they do kind of get more views than other videos, so hopefully it can kind of just like boost my channel a little bit. But like, main thing, I want to show you guys all the drawings that haven't been present in a video. Wow, we're already finished with our first drawing. Sorry if it's a bit fast. I just, I don't know, it looks really like fast because when it's in like whatever time speed, and it's just like in one corner of the page, it just looks like my hand's going like again and again. But yeah, I don't really know what to do about that, otherwise this video would be like 3 hours long. But yeah, I know that didn't really make sense, but I'm keeping it in there because I need to fill up some time because I don't have anything to talk about. But moving on to this next drawing, here is the reference I was using, and I switched it up by using this blue ballpoint pen instead. Sadly, you can't really see what's going on because my hand's kind of covering it, but I'm sure you can guess what's going on behind the scenes. I really like this reference. Her makeup's really cool and it's very like Alice in Wonderland. I kind of wish I like got in her expression a bit more because I think mine has expression, it's just not the same one. Facial expressions is definitely something I want to work on. I think I might do the 100 heads challenge soon because I've been wanting to do it, and that would definitely help with expressions, I think, and also like proportion and stuff, and drawing different types of faces that I'm not always drawing like young girls. Like, let's spice it up a little bit. And yeah, it would make for a good video idea, I think. And I think once I start my new sketchbook, I'll probably do that first, because I don't know about you, but when I start a new sketchbook, I'm kind of like, I don't want to mess this up, so it's going to be a good way to just get into it and like not worry about that kind of thing. Also, my birthday's coming up, so I'm gonna like maybe try and get some new art supplies, maybe like one thing. So if you have any recommendations for supplies that like you've been using and are quite good, drop some in the comments and I'll have a look. And also, if you have anything that you've been like thinking about getting but you want to see if it's actually good first, just tell me, and then if I'm like interested, maybe I'll buy it and do a review of it, because that could be fun. I've kind of been wanting to get, you know those acrylic markers that like everyone's using nowadays? I think it's like the Artex Simp Tap something blah blah blah. But yeah, I might get one of those and then do a review. The only problem is they're a little bit expensive, so I might just get like a knockoff version, maybe, possibly. But yeah, I mean, if you want to sponsor me, Artex, like, we can do that as well. I think I'm a bit too small, but like one day. Oh, and another thing I wanted to talk about is right now at school, for me, you have to like drop some subjects. So I'm going to be dropping art, and like, I don't know if it's a good idea, because obviously I like art, it's something I like to do in my free time, but art in school just really isn't the vibe. Like, I feel like it's a lot of copying other artists, which is obviously good, like, it's good to learn different styles, but I think there should just, like, still be a bit more freedom in what you can do, and, like, I'm sure there is. If you actually went into it, you could find a way, but honestly, the coursework as well, like, I'm barely managing to finish a sketchbook spread in a week. Imagine having to do, like, multiple pieces over a few days. That wouldn't be for me. I'm not good with deadlines, let's just say. I'm also not very good at recording a voiceover without saying like a bunch of times. I keep having to cut them out because I do it way too much. I just said it again, I genuinely can't talk without it today. Okay, so I'm moving on to my third drawing, which I'm doing with a green ballpoint pen, and this one is like a back view of someone's hair because I thought I'd switch it up instead of just doing everyone facing the front. And here's the reference. And basically what I was thinking for this one is that, you know where the flower is? I thought I could use the foam over there. I'm gonna try and cut out a shape like that and stick it on top, just to spice things up a bit, because that was the point of this, right? What else was I gonna talk about? Oh yeah, I'm really excited for like the summer, because I feel like lots of like good shows, a new season is coming out. Like, I think Outer Banks is coming out, right? Like a new season of that. And also I think I might like start watching Stranger Things again, because I started watching it. I watched season 1, I think, but then the start of season 2, I don't know, it got a bit boring. I feel like the episodes are a bit too long for me, but I want to get back into it because obviously it's got a lot of hype, and from like I've seen clips from later seasons and they look good, so yeah, we'll see. Okay, now I'm picking up my magazine and I'm starting to cut out different words and pictures that I think could look nice. And here we have this like, I don't know, it's like a cute little scene, but the only thing was it didn't fit on the page because it was too big, so I put that to one side. I cut out self-image just because like I thought it was kind of relevant, because like pictures of different people, I don't know, it was the only one that I thought could work. Then I also did these presents, but it wasn't really working with the layout and they looked a bit dull. And I also had that really nice picture of someone's face. I didn't know who it was. It was just a bit before here, but yeah, that was cool, but it was once again taking up too much space. Like, I think it'd be really cool to have one cut out and then do like a copy of it right next to it. That would look pretty cool. But yeah, at this point I was just cutting out different letters to spell the word April, so I wanted them to look like different, not just all black and the same font. So it took me a while to find some, but luckily I managed to get a nice variety. And from there I just cut out a few smaller shapes to fill the space, like this flower logo thing, and also this cute dog, which I think was from Dogs Trust, I think the charity is called. So I'm saying goodbye to the pictures that won't be used. Maybe I'll bring them back in some other day. And now I'm bringing in these pieces of foam that I was talking about before. I've decided to go with the colour yellow just because I think it's the colour that this spread is missing the most. I mean, it is very bright though. I wish it was a bit more toned down, like all of the colours were very neon. You can't really tell on camera, but in real life they were. So yeah, this probably wasn't a good choice in terms of trying to go for a less bright one, but I just wanted to go for yellow to add a bit of sunshine. Okay, and now as you can see, I'm cutting out that flower which I said I was going to put on, and I didn't really want to cover up the little details I'd already done, but it had to be done. So yeah, I just stuck that on with a bit of Pritt stick. And then what did I do? Oh yes, so I put this little piece on the side of this girl's face because I thought it was a nice little place to put it, and obviously one side is patterned, one side isn't, so I decided to go for the patterned part over there. And I do really like the patterned part, I think I prefer it, but I didn't do it for the flower shape because that would have been a bit too confusing, I think. After adding a few more pictures and text, I decided to move to my desk and start using the Winsor Newton ink I was talking about. So I had a plate with me and to use as a palette, and a brush and a glass of water, as you can see. Not to drink, to like mix the ink. Well, I don't think you need to mix it, like dilute it, I guess. And I decided to use a different sketchbook page just so that I could do some experimenting first. So I just got this random one that is near the start of my sketchbook. As you can see, I was sad because I couldn't draw eyes anymore apparently, but then I drew a really nice one underneath, so that was okay. It was very nice to dip and it was just really satisfying. Like, I've used writing ink before, like with a fountain pen, but I've never used it with a brush and water, so that was very fun. That wasn't very satisfying because my brush was dry, but once I added water it was nice and smooth, and once I realised how opaque it could really be, that's when I started to like it more, because before I was just like, okay, this is just like watercolour basically, and it was a bit boring because I just had one colour. But when it's really rich, that's really nice. And I also tried it on actual watercolour paper because I have that as well, and it was really nice on there. Obviously my sketchbook isn't made for watercolours, so the texture isn't as good, but it's still durable, I think. The violet colour definitely looked like blue though in real life. It was very blue. On camera it looks a bit more purple, but I think that it's kind of hard to differentiate. So maybe next time I'd rather get a black, because then I could do like Inktober with it and stuff. And yeah, I know that ink is supposed to be waterproof once it dries. I think that's the difference between it and watercolour. So I did test that and it did. You just have to wait a little longer. But I don't really know what like the benefit of that is. I guess you can add layers without it, lifting. But obviously, as I said, I only have one colour, so that's kind of unnecessary. But yeah, I think it could definitely be really cool medium to work with if you have a range of colours. And as you can see, I painted the first because it was April 1st, and then I also drew this cat on a branch and painted that in as well. And here's the reference that I was using. It was kind of a hard angle to draw because there's so many like limbs and tails and stuff. Well, one tail, but yeah, hopefully you can tell what it is and what's going on there. And then I also painted this bird because I wanted to try like using it to draw, not just like colour in spaces. And yeah, it worked pretty well. I think this was a reference. I don't remember if I had a reference. If I did, I'll put one in. And then I just drew an apple because why not? And then I stuck down this little daffodil thing from the magazine because I thought I could fill in some space. It was so hard to film this because I was like holding the camera with one hand, so can we just appreciate that moment? I don't know if I went too far with adding like random stuff, but I guess I kind of like the chaotic look. And then I drew this hand and I filled in space with crayons like I said I would, and I wanted to see what it was like if I put ink straight onto the foam. And you know, nothing exciting, it just kind of got soaked up. And to fill in space I drew little clouds and spots and stuff, just the classic drawing stars to fill in space. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So here's the finished spread in 3, 2, 1. I really hope you enjoyed drawing along with me. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!